If your man pisses you off and you go to blast Lemonade, if you're getting ready for a night out and you need to feel like a baddie so you play Rihanna, then this video is for you. And you have found your people. It's me, I'm your people. And these divas that I've mentioned are not just queens of the charts, but they've also taught me some really important spiritual lessons. And today I'm gonna break down how their work has leveled up not only my eardrums, but my heart, my mind, and my wellness. Alright, so on the real, as a retired theater kid, music has always been really important to me. I can always find a lesson or a mood or really connect with the emotions that artists bring forth in their music. And artists like Beyonce, Rihanna, Janelle Monáe, they are not just on my playlist, but they really do have a place in my heart. And I think when we talk about spirituality and self-growth, it can be really easy to think of it in this very serious way, quiet meditation, very stoic vibes, but it can be fun. It can be rhythmic, it can be exciting. And that is what these artists have done for me. Through their music, I have found some powerful lessons on how to heal, on how to stand up for myself, how to stand tall and be different. So today I want to unpack these three queens, the three big lessons that they taught me, how they've changed my life, and how they can change yours too. And we're gonna start with none other than the Queen Bee herself. Beyonce? Yes. Now I am hived down, so there are so many albums that I could choose for this, but I think that the most important to highlight is Lemonade for the purposes of this video. Lemonade is more than just an album, it's really Beyonce doing her shadow work for the entire world to see. For those who don't know the lore, Lemonade is the first album that Beyonce released following the cheating scandal with Jay-Z. Prior to Lemonade, it was radio silence from both her and Jay-Z's camps. There were no words exchanged, no press interviews, nothing like that. So the entire world was really waiting on the edge of their seats of what she would say and what her reaction to this would be. And through Lemonade, we see her turn her pain into a place of power and ultimately into a love letter detailing the strength of the bond and the vows that she's made with her husband and how she goes through this pain, this heartbreak, goes through the stages of anger, denial, grief, and essentially ends with a very hopeful message on redemption and the power of love to wash away the sins of her lover and step into a new, more powerful and healed era. One of the last songs on the album is a song titled All Night, and I think it really ties in these themes beautifully. And if you were to ask me what this album is about, I would point you to this song. Now forgive me because I'm on a road to YouTube monetization and I'm not risking a copyright claim. I'm so sorry, so I'm just gonna read you out the lyrics. They say true love's the greatest weapon to win the war caused by pain. But every diamond has imperfections, and my love's too pure to watch it chip away. Nothing real can be threatened. True love breathes salvation back into me. With every tear came redemption, and my torturer became my remedy. Oh my gosh! Need we say more? Need we say more? Throughout earlier songs in the album, we hear her deal with the pain, the hurt of it. You know, she says, watch your mouth. She says, you do this again, it's over. But in this song, she shares the real lesson behind it, which is that the love that she has, the commitment that she's made is so strong, so pure, that no mistakes, no people, no expectations can pull her away from the love and the commitment that she has to her husband. And yes, there's anger, yes, there's hurt, yes, there's tears, but by acknowledging that and feeling it and letting it happen, with every tear, with every acknowledgement, the debt gets repaid and she gets closer and closer to the salvation of her love and her bond. And in the end, this person that has caused her this pain and caused her this hurt ultimately becomes the reminder of who she is as a wife, as a mother, and the reason for her to keep going and go on to greater things. As we've seen, her discography did not end with Lemonade. She kept going and won Album of the Year. But that's a whole other video. So I think the biggest lesson that we learn here is that pain comes, hurt comes. Sometimes it might even happen in public. Your pain could be public. There could be all eyes on you wondering what you're gonna do next. But you face it, you dig in, you get real, you get authentic and deal with it. You remember why you started. You remember the love or the passion or the excitement that brought you on this path in the first place, and continue to follow it and push through what you're going through. Because in the end, it is all all worth it. And I think that that's a lesson that not only applies to marriage and love, but applies to spiritual growth, personal development, career. That's a display of the resilience that we all need. Now, the next lesson comes from the bad gal herself, Miss Rihanna. One of the biggest lessons that Rihanna has taught me is self-love and confidence. We see her display this all the time, from her bold fashion looks to the unapologetic way that she has built up the Fenty empire. Rihanna is not afraid to take up space. And this is something that I have been working on for many years, as I used to be a person who would dim my light or make myself smaller or tell myself stories about how I wasn't good enough. And although Auntie is arguably one of her best works, I think my favorite example of this lesson comes from Loud in the song Cheers. She opens the song with this verse: "Life's too short to be sitting around miserable. People gon' talk whether you're doing bad or good. Got a drink on my mind and my mind on my money." And then in the chorus she goes, "Don't let the bastards get you down. Turn it around with another round." I encourage you to really feel those lyrics. Let that sit with you. Life is too short to be sitting around miserable, worrying about what's coming next. People are gonna talk no matter what you're doing. Whether you're chasing your dreams and going off on a limb or doing what everybody is expecting of you, people are still gonna have something to say about it, and it's not always gonna be good. So why not just live the life that you choose? Do not let other people get you down. Ree has been no stranger to controversy, and if you are around my age or older, then you probably remember her being insane on Twitter, like just getting into it with any and everybody. Many people cannot handle not only being in the spotlight, but also being defensive of yourself and being the one on the front lines taking up for the decisions that you make. And Rihanna throughout her career has done an amazing job with that. She does not apologize for anything. And don't get me wrong, you may make some mistakes and have to say you're sorry to some people, but be very choosy with that. Because when it comes to your life, when it comes to the things that you're doing every day that really only affect you, you don't have to apologize to anyone for doing what is best for you. And that message not only applies to public relations and artistry, but it applies to the way that you conduct yourself on a daily basis. If you don't want to go out tonight because you need a second to take a bubble bath and read and be with yourself, then do that. Don't apologize for anything. The biggest lesson that we can all learn from Ree is to love yourself, do what you need to do, and don't give up. Last up is Janelle Monáe, who, like all these ladies, holds a special place in my heart, but she was actually one of the first concerts that I attended by myself, so It really ties into what I think her biggest message is, which is liberation and authenticity. Now, Janelle throughout her career has never been afraid to be different. When she first came on the scene, she wore a signature black and white tux, and this was in the era where a lot of pop stars were getting pushed to be sexy, be fun, be relatable, and don't get me wrong, she was all of those things, but she didn't package it in the way that was expected of her. Now, while she was still commercially successful, because of those decisions, she sacrificed a lot of the hype that she could have been from straying away from the fray at the time. And with her latest release, we've seen her kind of let loose and break the mold a little bit. She's been more commercially sexy. And even then, people still had problems because now she was kind of breaking away from what we've seen of her typically. But she, like Rihanna, is unapologetic in that. She is bold, she's quirky, and she does what she wants to do when she wants to do it. So often we feel like we have to compartmentalize and be different parts of ourselves around different people. But one thing Janelle Monáe does is be all of herself all of the time. I think the Dirty Computer album illustrates this perfectly. And one of my favorite songs from it, Django Jane, just says everything that needs to be said. In her verse, she says, "Box office numbers and they doing outstanding. Running out of space in my damn bandwagon. Remember when they used to say I look too mannish. Black and white, yeah, that's always been my camo. It's looking like y'all gonna need some more ammo. We gave you life, we gave you birth, we gave you God, we gave you earth. We fem the future, don't make it worse. You want the world? Well, what's it worth?" Boom, mic drop, but the rest of that song is fire, so please listen. We see her lay it out all right there, from the criticisms that she's received, the black and white and the tux, oh, you look too mannish, oh, but now that I'm successful and at the Oscars and doing these big movie premieres, now y'all wanna rock with me. Everything negative that you've had to say about me, I've heard it before, but guess who still has the power? Me. I love the nod that she gives to the power and femininity. We gave you earth, we gave you life, we gave you birth. Despite everything that you say about me, I know who I am. I know the power that I hold, and you can't take that away from me. I found that the authenticity in Janelle Monáe's music and what she inspires has truly motivated me to kind of set myself free of expectations and be all of me, embrace the quirks. And in embracing the quirks and what's different about me, I embrace my power. So in addition to liberating yourself from critics and criticisms, liberate yourself from internal monologues that hold you back or limiting beliefs that say that you need to dim your light. As we've seen from Janelle Monáe, you don't need to shrink yourself, you just need to start shining. Thank you for yapping with me, friends. I'm curious to know if there's anyone not in this video that has inspired you spiritually, whether it's a musician, a poet, an artist in some way, maybe a friend or your mom. Sound off in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.